Okay, quick update on events in Iran. Quite the disconnect between the narrative we're hearing on social media and seeing on TV and the verdict of Mr. Market, who seems much more relaxed about developments unfolding favorably. I'll side with Mr. Market on this one. If you caught my last video on Sunday, I was very bullish on some kind of ceasefire deal and bullish on the market action this week. So far, so good on that, knock on wood. And I think this ceasefire is going to hold. I don't really understand the negative takes. Yes, there's still some missiles being lobbed back and forth. These things never stop on a dime. Yes, there are some issues with regards to Israel and Lebanon, but it does sound like the U.S. is putting pressure on Israel, and I expect that to be effective. A lot of talk about tolls being charged in the strait. And I find it funny that so many on social media are really quick to declare who the winner is, who the loser is in this deal. The U.S. didn't get this, we're giving up that. Nobody knows what this deal is going to look like yet. The U.S. has put down its 15 markers. Iran has put down its 10 markers, and those will be horse traded. That's how negotiations work. So we have no idea what the contours of this deal are going to look like. The reason I think there will be a deal is because the U.S. has the leverage and the desire to end it. So the counterparty that's really calling the shots here, in my view, wants it over. It's probably going to be over. Does Iran have some leverage with their ability to close the Strait of Hormuz? Yes, in the short term they do, and the U.S. will pay for that leverage. I think the payments got to be done sort of under the table. It can't be done in a way that it looks like an overt loss for the United States and that control of the Strait of Hormuz has been handed to Iran. The GCC allies will go bonkers. The Europeans have said today, the European Commission spokesman said under no circumstances is that kind of arrangement acceptable. Rubio said it's not acceptable, nor should it be acceptable to the so-called international community. Furthermore, Iran's only leverage is closing the Strait of Hormuz. If they're not going to trade that in a deal, what are they trading? They have nothing else to offer. So if they're going to insist on tolling the strait, then don't make a deal. Why give them sanctions relief? Why give them anything? Just walk away and say, okay, enjoy your tolls, and we're going to come back and we're going to bomb the money back out of you in 2 years. So they don't get any guarantee. They don't get any stamp of approval from the international community for that behavior. Furthermore, they've couched it in legalese that they're talking with Oman about some kind of shared system. Oman said yesterday, I think it was their transport minister, said we're a signatory to the UN Convention on the Law of the Seas that says we can't charge tolls. So if Iran is not suggesting they're going to engage in piracy, they're talking about tolling their waters. Well, fine, have a toll in Iranian waters, and we'll have Western vessels transit strictly through Oman waters. Instead of going one way in, one way out, just do, 12 hours in through Oman and 12 hours out through Oman every day or something. I don't know. I'm not a nautical expert on how these things work, but it's very clear we could box Iran out on that way. And then if they want to shoot at things, shoot at things. Then we go back to war. Whoever they shoot at goes back to war with them. They go to war with everybody. Or we say every tanker you shoot, we shoot 3 of yours and you're not selling any oil. They don't really have any leverage other than short-term economic pain. So they have to trade that or they have nothing to trade. So the short-term economic pain is, I think, going to be relieved fairly soon. I think the market's right to look through this, and I expect equities, while it made a lot of headway, obviously, so far this week, to grind higher still over the next 10 days or so. Thanks for watching.